Really is a mixed field, this one. Not so many Spanish runners in this field. But yeah, as we can see there, 5 lanes in fact, occupied by a couple of athletes. So we're all going to jostle for position really as they attack that first and second bend. The pacemaker, she goes in lane 8, that being Andrea Ferris of Panama. Almanza looking in the mood here to cause some damage limitation. Certainly has the talent as the Cuban, so another event here in the track. There's the meeting record, 1:55.55. Matola in 2003, Spain's over that record. The world lead by Caster Semenya of Morocco, 1:56.64. Petty just looking to make her move and ease herself to the front there. Was the Kiwi. There we can see the Cuban Vieta where she wants to be at the front. Personal best of 2:60, and that's the season's best also there for the Cuban runner. Petty just coming around the outside, there's the bell. 2:01.70 so far this year for the New Zealand Petty. She's just beginning to make her move around the outside now. She's made that move very early, in fact. You just wonder, is it too early? Almanza there looking very, very imperious, also going around the outside too. Rosemary Almanza. Well, you did wonder about that move from Petty. Was too early. She's been brushed aside. Well, here is Anita Henrik's daughter here of Iceland, looking to throw her name into the hat for the lead. But here comes around the outside Rosemary Almanza of Cuba, who certainly looks like she's in good shape to take this first spot, or is she? Natalija Lupy of the Ukraine was the nearest challenger, but the Cuban in 2:22 wins the women's 800 metres here. But boy, she certainly had to work hard for it. So there it is, Rosemary Almanza of Cuba. Tailed off, and that was really by Angela Petty making that challenge at the bell. That was a challenge really that she just couldn't keep up with. We see there the Kiwi perhaps ending up in 5th, but Almanza grit and determination in the end. Seeing the Cuban eventually go ahead and cement a first place. Well, that's a decent attempt in the discus. Madai there with that attempt. Got plenty of Kneso tape all over him. 63.10, season's best there for the Iranian. There's Rochas here. And a quick look down to the mark here now. The next question is, did she get the white flags, the shake of the head? Way off there with that one. Really cannot emphasise how difficult it is with regards to the conditions out there. It's so warm. Still ahead. Slight improvement though on her second jump at 40 metres 57. So there are the results of the men's 3,000 metres won by Benson Sarai, 7:50.65. Again, it was a very, very tight finish, but good enough to see him win that one. So here's the start list for the men's 110 metres hurdles final. Ortega, Duvallis, Traber, they won the first semi-final, and it was Beji who won the second semi-final. So with that in mind, perhaps they're the lanes to look out for. What a good job this fella did of reaching the final. Colomo. There's Bargi. He'll go in lane 3. There's Contreras as well of Spain. Good job as well. In the outside lane of 1. Javier Colomo of Spain. Lane 2. There's Bargi of Hungary. Lane 5, there's Ortega. Next to him in lane 6, there is the Greek, Duvallis. Gregor Traber. Good effort as well to get himself here to this stage in the final. There's Ristic. He's out there in lane 4. So what a final this should prove to be. Baji, Ristic, Ortega, Duvallis. Perhaps it will be a shootout in lanes 3, 4, 5 or 6 respectively. Well, Ristic in fact being forced to sit this one out. So over to you, Mr. Ortega, perhaps. Well, he's got himself a good start, Ortega. Nice and clean over the hurdles. 1, 2 and 3 here for Ortega. This is where he comes into his own. Bargi has laid down the challenge, but Ortega is rising to that challenge. And Ortega wins in first position with 13.18, and how delighted is he. Well, his wonderful season just continues and continues here, Ortega. He is in the shape of his life in the build-up for the Olympics. Baji tried and failed, but Ortega there showed a lot of heart and a lot of desire. And it was both of those traits that was good enough to see him win here in Madrid on home soil, his home track. Clipped a hurdle in the first semi-final, didn't do it here in the final. Just outside his season's best, but still that is a very, very good shift he's just put in here at the office. Well, there's the emotion, it comes pouring out there once he realised that he was numero uno. Well, he's got that Olympic tattoo on his right arm there, on his right bicep. An absolute pleasure to see him ply his trade in Brazil this year, no doubt about that. Smoothness personified indeed. So Rosemary Almanza just ahead of Luppu and just ahead of Anita, Henrik's daughter here of Iceland. Personal best and a season's best thrown in there for good measure as well in that particular discipline. So all in all, so far with just a couple of events remaining here in Madrid, it has been a very good showing so far.